All right, what is up, everybody? Shadow Scout 0013 here, coming in with a video with Canadian Bear. We're going to give you the rundown on Adepticon real quick, kind of like the top lists and factions, I should say, like a faction breakdown. And then we kind of go over all of the news that was spilled at Adepticon, along with maybe like a few ideas and just a few speculations on especially Ahsoka, kind of going over all the new units and whatnot. So if you maybe have watched a whole bunch of other stuff, we're just going to kind of wrap it all into one. If you haven't watched a whole bunch of stuff, you're going to be learning a lot. You're going to be getting our views on all of the new units coming out, maybe a few things that hopefully you missed that we kind of pick out. So stay tuned, watch that, and make sure that you like and subscribe and leave a comment. If you're a subscriber and you leave a comment, this is entering in to win a commander expansion of your choice. All you have to do, like I said, is just leave a comment and be a subscriber. If you want, you can head on over to the Discord. This is a great place for everybody just to kind of chat and talk about Star Wars Legion. If you've got Empire ideas, or if you've got something, so Malik here, waffling over a list for a tournament at the end of the month. If you've got something that you're trying to get us to look over, feel free to put it over here. We've got guys that'll comment on it. I take a look a lot at Empire and Shadow Collective. For CIS, you've got Emperor Atlantis and Master Mud taking a big, deep look into there. Rebels, we have Grant doing a whole bunch there. Garless, we've got Canadian Bear, me. So yeah, you've got a lot of people here who are trying to help you and do your best to give you a really great, or just to give you really good feedback. If you are working on something, feel free to post it in the work in progress or finished projects. Elmo with the Aqua Droids, Auburn alum with an amazing, really really amazing Scarif board, getting ready for a tournament himself, or to host, I think, the table. Such a nice looking board. So yeah, if you are a hobbyist and you enjoy posting your stuff, feel free to post it on here. And also with the server level, if you are commenting and you level up, this also enters you in to win the commander expansion. So that's why I think that it's important if you wanted to kind of get extra bonuses into the giveaway, as well as the league. After April 15th, we will be starting the league on the next following Monday, that April 21st, I think. So you'll be able to get your list in. Just let us know if you're interested. Just go to the League General and let us know. I'll go ahead and add you into the League players and make sure that you get tagged specifically. We have Ryan, who has come out with more of the maps. So now we'll be playing some stuff from Invader League. We've got this map here. We've got this map here. We've got this one, and we'll have the Corellia, as well as the Felucia one. So I'm excited about these. Thank Ryan. Now, if you ever get the chance to see him, he does a lot. We'll be able to, in the game, also have the complete the mission token thanks to him. So yeah, go ahead and join up into the League General and let me know you're interested. I will give you all the information you need. And that is mostly it. Head on over also to the Patreon. This also kind of helps the channel in order for me to do the giveaways. It just kind of helps a lot with the creators here. And it's going to be very helpful for the channel if you do that. But all right, guys, I'll go ahead and let us get straight into it. All right, what is up, everybody? Shadow Scout 0013 here, coming in with Canadian Bear.
Hello.
And today we're going to go over basically Adepticon. And I know there's already been a lot of videos talking about Adepticon and kind of going over the results. So we'll kind of summarize a lot of different things, going into a little bit of detail, maybe about the event and the top lists, as well as we're going to go over some of the reveals and maybe kind of make a prediction on Xi'an Mastery as well, and kind of give you some of the updates that AMG is probably going to be coming out with. So I will let Canadian Bear go ahead and let us get started with the Adepticon event itself.
So yeah, the main tournament was broken up over 4 days. We got Thursday and Friday were the separate heats. In total, it was about 120 players between the 2 days, 68 and 52 respectively. Pretty much what it was the top 32 from each day were going on to form out the uh, top 64 for the Saturday event, and from there the top eight would play on Sunday. So one or couple things to note from the heats um, is the I mean faction breakdown's kind of interesting. Like Friday is uh, not exactly what I was expecting. I know Empire's popular just in general. But Friday had, or Thursday, sorry, had 25 Empire players, 19 Separatists, only 12 Rebels, and then 10 Gar and 2 Shadow Collective. Um,
Poor Shadow Collective.
I mean, hey, they did a pretty good job overall. uh,
Yeah, see
yeah.
that they're actually kind of like up there though, so that's not
Oh
too
yeah.
bad.
Let's see. So, yeah. And then when you jump over to the Friday heat, got it swaps a little bit. It's pretty much just Rebels jump ahead, and then everything else stays in the same order. Rebels jump up to first with 19 lists, then Empire with 11, then CIS with 10, Gar with 7, and Shadow Collective with 5. Uh,
And even making it into the top 8, it looks like.
no, only Empire and Shadow Collective were the only ones that didn't make it to day 4.
Well, I
Uh,
meant sorry, in the Heat, like Heat 2, it looks like. Number 7, Oliver Dyer. Sorry.
oh yeah, yeah, Ali Daya, yep,
Yeah.
world champ from last year.
Yeah, Ollie. Yeah, my bad.
um, yeah, no, he overall placed ninth with his Shadow Collective list. Uh, and the next ones there, well, let's see here. There was uh, for the top 64. It It's pretty even for the first three. It's 19 rebels made it to the top 64. Then you've got 16 CIS and Empire, 7 Republic, and 6 Shadow Collective. Um, so yeah, and let's see. Yeah, top CI or Shadow Collective was Ali Daya getting ninth with his double bus, double shot or scattergun Black Sun, 2 swoop bikes, and 4 rocket and marksman commandos. And then top Empire came in at 13th with let's see, Alan Beard, and he had a Tempest Force with 2 DLT storms with Astromechs and Recon, 6 scouts with transponders, Mark on because duh, and 2 ATSTs with the Hammers pilot, the twin light blaster cannon, the mortar launcher, and LTA. For solid, I believe that is what was that?
11
Oh,
activations.
yeah, 11 activations. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and otherwise, we were able to get in. Uh, the 3 other factions were in the top 8. Uh, it was not looking good for someone that doesn't play Rebels when you start at it
For
because 5 of the top 8 were Rebels.
yeah.
That was, a
Um,
little nerve-wracking.
let me see. Let me just do some looking here. Three sleeper cells. Okay, we'll go down to the next one. Um, any sleeper cells? No. Hey, look at that. Lots of fleets. Okay, we got a little hero hammer there. We have two sleeper cells. We have that going. Austin doing awesome there. Still making top eight as usual.
Mhm.
Let's see. We've got oh hey sleeper cells doing pretty hot there. I don't know if you can tell, but I am not salty at all about these sleeper cells right here. So what
There's
four
definitely not a trend.
right? So we had four out of the five lists have sleeper cell units, and I just think they're way undercosted right now. I think that they will definitely go up in points, and yeah, they won't. They'll just be like commandos, in my opinion. It'll like hit them hard while you can, use them while you can, and then they're gonna get bumped up, especially that astromech.
I hope they only bump them up a little and bump Commandos down a little. I hope.
Yes, yes. Again,
Yeah,
because
do a more balanced balancing.
yes, because I always kept making the comment when Republic was doing really good, it's like bring all the other factions up, bring everything else a little bit more
Yeah.
powerful. They did definitely with sleeper cells.
Mhm,
I think they'll go up a tiny bit in points. If anything, at least the astromech might go up a
mhm,
little, and maybe the marksman or whoever it is that's in there might come down, and hopefully the clone commandos go down just a little, but I think that the unit itself probably won't go up too much. I know that I've heard a lot of people say 15. I've said 20 when playing against them, but really it's just because you're salty getting one shotted by white save
yeah,
uh, unit that blows you to smithereens. But yeah,
yeah. At the very least, throw the Astromech up a few points too. Make
mhm,
that not an automatic choice.
yes,
Um, and I don't really know if I want the marksman to come down because even if the ability doesn't happen, now it's 14 black dice that Surge hit with tactical.
okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
but yeah. And so with the top eight too, obviously there had to be one team kill because there was 5 out of the 8 were rebels. But otherwise, 4 of the 5 lost game one, and then we had just one left. Both the CIS and our our lone Gar player holding for the last stand uh, made it on there. Uh, I believe, if I remember correctly, there's also a trend you'll notice with the CIS list. Hey, look, there's Count Dooku, and you know, oh hey, look, there's Count Dooku.
Yeah,
He's very good too.
he
So
is.
that was very good to see that, and yeah, and then to finish it out, we had a good old fashioned uh, Clone Wars episode going on the final table. Uh, you'll also notice that this was the first time that uh, a Republic player made it to the final table of Worlds.
Hmm.
Um, and it was the second time for CIS. Um, so the three factions that actually made it to the top, it was all their first time potentially winning Worlds because the first two were both Empire, and the third one, or the first two were both Empire with Luke Cook. Uh, Last year was Shadow Collective with Ali Daya, and now all that's left is CIS and Rebels because Isaiah with Republic was able to take the win this year. So, with a very dark horse list that I'm sure we're going to get to go over on when we record our next episode later this week.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to kind of talk to him and ask him exactly, the thoughts behind it. I know that on stream after he won, he kind of talked to David
Mhm.
about his list and kind of like alternatives, the back and forth. So we might touch on that for a second, but there's a lot of other questions that I'd like to ask him, and hopefully we can get a good breakdown. I know that they've already had I know he's already had another interview, and so maybe we can try to ask him some list building techniques or kind of see what the special sauce is,
Yeah.
and maybe get a good breakdown between Cody or the synergy, I should say, between Cody and Obi-Wan, and kind of get his take on why the two pair together very well, and what he's tried with them both and whatnot. But yeah, I think it'll be
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see was able to if he played something similar during Legacy. 'Cause I remember he was also, I think he's relatively new, but I don't remember exactly when he jumped in. But it'll be good to talk to him, get some further details.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, yeah, that was the Worlds event, and of course there was a bunch of side events, which I'm sure everyone had a good time doing those and just checking out the new venue. I heard that it's very nice having a walkway that you never have to go outside if you go to certain hotels, especially when it's apparently raining and downpouring on the Friday.
oof.
uh, yeah, so
Because it was
yeah,
in Chicago last year.
yeah. Up until this year was just outside of Chicago in Schaumburg, apparently. Um, so I will say I'm hoping to get to go next year now.
Okay.
Now that my I don't have to worry about a sister wedding anymore since I only got the one. I'm
Yeah.
gonna hopefully get to go this time.
Yeah, it'll be cool. Hopefully they
Yeah.
keep it in the same spot, especially if the venue's that
Oh yeah.
nice.
Yeah, they've got lots of room to grow in what it seems. So yeah.
Maybe one year they can have it in Florida.
Could mean I think we need some bigger convention centers down in Florida.
Definitely, definitely. But yeah, but yeah, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
nice.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
cool. I know that there were some reveals and some rules hints that
Mhm.
they dropped at Adepticon, which I was really looking forward to. And I know in another week or so we'll be able to get the updates April 15th. I know that that's marked on my calendar already. So if you want, we can start going over kind of like the reveals and kind of like a few takes.
Yeah.
Um, I know that they got a what is it? That's for Shatterpoint. We'll go over the just like the updated little cards here. So we've
Mhm.
got the ARF troopers and the Rebel Cell, as well as the Control Squad and Aqua Droids. The art looks pretty cool. I'm glad that we're getting it on some big cards like the picture and everything. Everything looks
Yes.
nice. I'm glad to see kind of what's going on here. But yeah, that's the first
I
one.
I love seeing the art pop up over the text boxes. Really, I can't wait to see those in person.
Yeah, I think that they did a really good job at least designing the new cards.
Mhm.
And then second, let's see. Okay, so this one kind of hurt me and didn't hurt me at the same time. All right, let's just take a quick look. So Sabine's gonna have her jump to Gunslinger and Impervious and Nimble like normal, but this time her blasters are melee to range 2, and it is Pierce 1, single rainbow as well, still surge to crit, still surge to defend, still 5 health, still 2 courage, and movement 3. Okay, so I don't know if she's holding the dark saber. I'm sure that there could be the upgrade to bring again. I don't know if it's gonna still be the same thing with like Dauntless and all that other stuff since she is Courage 2. And Impact 1, Pierce 1, she's already gonna surge to crit. So we'll see. I think this at least gives the ability to not have to worry about bringing the dark saber since she's now got a good melee with Pierce 1 in her melee.
Yeah.
naturally, so that's going to be really nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just gaining the Pierce one is big for her in general.
yeah, no, I think that that's going to be awesome because now she's a little bit more dangerous in melee,
Mm,
just as much as she was shooting. Because I know that usually you had to bring the dark saber for her to actually do anything in melee, and
right.
now it's much better.
Yeah.
This one I'm actually kind of happy about, but I'm also going to wonder now. So we have Vader here in the background. Operative Vader usually only had 5 red dice in melee. He's now got 6 as Operative Vader. It looks like it's still Impact 3, Pierce 3. And then Force Throw is still range 1 to 2, 2 black dice, Blast, and probably still Scatter. Still Courage 3. We don't know his health. So I don't know if his health has gone down or up. Um,
Mm,
and his speed is probably still 2, more than likely, since nothing really else is changing. So I don't know if he is either maybe losing a training slot or what, because now we don't need tenacity on Operative Vader.
mm,
So that's pretty nice. Um, so maybe still hopefully have 2 Force slots. He still has Master of the Force 1, Jedi Hunter, so that's naturally pretty nice to have. Relentless, Immune to Pierce, Deflect. Nothing crazy. It just he looks like he's just a menace on the board. That's basically it.
yeah.
All right, this is where I have a hole in my heart now.
Mm-hmm.
Maul for Shadow Collective. We still have Jump 1, Allies of Convenience, Deflect, Immune to Pierce, Geo Mastery, and Wound 1. But he's gone down a health and he's gone down a courage. So, ouch.
Yeah.
He's still got his normal lightsaber, 4 red, 4 white, impact 2, pierce 2, still 2 health. I think the biggest thing is the decrease in health and the decrease in courage. Now, there weren't many times where I had him gain suppression tokens for the most part. He was
Mm,
never, if he was getting shot, he was dying.
yeah.
Unless I had, a steamed bleeder on him, which I usually tried to bring, and he was never really suppressed out. So the courage isn't going to be the biggest deal. It still sucks though, because all of the Mandos are also courage 2, and with his courage 3, with that affiliation, kind of helped the Mandos out a lot. So that kind of takes a hit. And with wound 1 and 5 health, I don't know if and I liked, especially round 1, maybe round 2, healing him with the bus, giving him back his 6 health because you can always use his command card to give him the wound if you needed to. But at least he could
Mm-hmm.
survive an extra round or an extra shot or two with that 6 health. But now he's at 5. I don't know if wound 1 puts down to 4 or if the wound 1 automatically makes him start at 5. I'm sure we'll find out on the 15th, but
Mm-hmm.
this is rough.
I'm curious if his dark saber has changed. Only because with the reveal we'll go over later, they talked about it, how like involved they were with Lucasfilm for like uh people allowed to work with other people, whatnot. So I'd be curious if the dark saber gives him an increase to courage by 1. Only because like when you're watching the show, by the time he gains the dark saber, he's not as crazy anymore.
Hmm.
He's more recovered, so maybe that's just because up until a few weeks ago he had spider legs. Who knows?
Yeah. That's kind of another thing that I'm thinking about. The other thing that we also saw was I don't know if a lot of people caught it. I know someone had pointed it out to me, but I'll go ahead and bring it up on the overlay here. Coming in 2026, we have Lord Maul, Gar Saxon, and Rookcast put together.
Mhm,
I don't know if Lord Maul is different than Maul the Rival, because the Shadow
mhm,
Collective Maul that we're going over right now is the Rival, not Lord Maul. It doesn't have anything associating it with Lord Maul. And so I don't know if there's going to be a dark saber on Lord Maul and if there's going to be something a little bit different. So that could that one could have the dark saber instead of the 4 and 4, which could at least give us two different types of Shadow Collective Mall. I would be okay
Mhm.
with that. Maybe that one's got 3 courage and 6 health. And I wouldn't say Master of the Force because Geo Mastery is going to be
Mhm.
there, but maybe that one's going to be different. I don't know.
Yeah. I will say, since we talked about that briefly in one of the various interviews they did at Adepticon, uh, some of the things that are listed in here are just to show all the names. They're not like each getting their own individual release.
Hmm.
So like Maul, Saxon, and Rookcast are going to be like the heroes of the 501st box, and all three of those are coming in one box now.
Right.
Um,
And
and
they said that Rook is not going to be its own operative at all. It's just
yeah, it's still
the
going to be the same
minis.
thing as like Fives and Echo.
Hmm.
Um, Pretty much one thing they kept nailing down throughout consistently through all the interviews was, hey, prices might kind of go up a little bit, but the price per model when it comes to these characters is going to go down. So, because then you're just not having to pay someone to package 10 different things instead of just having to package one thing. And
Hmm.
you only have to hit the button one time to press the mold shut instead of doing 4 different molds and having to swap out the molds for each individual unit. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited about that at
uh,
least.
yeah,
Uh,
me too.
Well,
Um,
next up, we've got the new Stormtroopers and Scout Troopers. Um,
Actually, do you want to stay on the weekly play kit for a second? Because I
oh
kind of want to
yeah.
get your opinion on this.
Okay, yeah. Let's look at it.
So, this is a new initiative they're doing. They're borrowing it from Star Wars Unlimited, and pretty much what there is it looks like you can get 2 little booster packs per week from doing. Uh, I'm assuming could be the one thing twice or 2 different things in a week, and these cards are what we were just looking at with the Maul Vader, the Maul Command card, and Sabine. There's going to be 3 cards per pack. They're going to be rare cards in there that have like a special foiling treatment. They're all artists or artistrated by the same person whose name escapes me. I don't know their name, but I'm sure with what AMG's been doing for a while now is that name's going to be all over those cards. Or
Hmm.
actually, I can see it on the command card, but I cannot. I cannot read that. It's like on the side of the command card behind Maul.
Um.
I think it's like something Sullivan. Um, they mentioned the name also in the actual show where they're going over all of this.
Okay.
Um, and I've heard some differing opinions on this. So I'm curious what you think. I'm personally excited about this because it doesn't hurt the game, in my opinion. I know some people have said that they don't like it because then it's creating like collectors not the right thing, but and inequality is not the right thing either. But um like a secondary kind of thing to like worry about. It's like, no, this is just if you want them, you want them. Like, go for it. If not, it's like, no, oh no.
Right. No,
um,
I think it's awesome. I think it's a great
yeah.
thing, especially to get players involved and to get people to their game
Hmm.
store. Obviously don't have a game store in my city that plays um,
Hmm.
or holds it, but I'm sure that I think this is great. It's going to add value to some of the cards. I think it's going to give
Hmm.
people who are maybe just getting into the game some really cool stuff. And,
Yeah.
I I feel like this is normal for most games anyway. Um, at least to have some kind of different cards. I don't know if anyone plays, Pocket TCG for Pokemon, but they if you do the monthly subscription, you get special cards, and or if you do events and stuff, you get special cards. I think this is fine.
Yeah.
This is great.
I think mostly the detractors were like, this doesn't belong in a miniature war game. This is a card game thing. It's like okay, but we have cards.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Why not
like
have why not have some good ones? Like
mhm,
if you don't use cards, print and play. That's fine. But for the people who do want some cards and who want nice cards, I mean, just go to
yeah,
a game at your store.
yeah,
Go support your store, especially if you have a good one. Like
mhm,
I think this is a great idea.
yeah, yeah,
Any
like oh,
more product is better in my opinion. Like
oh
this
yeah,
is just more for the game. So this is
mhm,
good.
yeah, and I'm sure, really, realistically, it does not cost them like anything. Like if it's anything like the Star Wars Unlimited packs, uh, as I remember correctly, those are free to the stores. At least the Star Wars Unlimited ones, they don't have to buy them from Fantasy Flight. So I'd be curious if those are going to follow also the same kind of thing. Um,
Hmm.
and if that's the case, it's like cool. It's like they've lost cents on the dollar. I'm like, oh no, like this is just it's a bonus thing. Like have fun with it, or don't get involved with it. But it's not going to detract from your game.
Right. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just a plus. There's nothing
yeah,
wrong with it. This is not taken away from the game at all. It might be taken
hmm
away from people's ability, like pride, or maybe like the fact that they want to have everything. But I mean, you can't always get what you want. I don't know if people have heard
yeah.
that
I
from
mean, we
before.
already have that with some of the like world's exclusive stuff. Like that's always been the case in Legion. So it's like I don't know what's different about this.
Nothing, nothing.
Mhm.
Well, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that
yeah.
it's a great idea. I'm gonna have to try to find a way to get my hands on those,
Mhm.
or find a g- city about 2.5 hours away to try and get these things. uh, but yeah,
Yeah. Alright.
um, yeah. Well, next up we've got the new Stormtrooper box and Scout Trooper box. It looks like they're gonna be coming with a whole bunch of models. There's only 7 still, I think, in with the Scout Troopers, and there's what the entire squad ability to have the whole squad with the stormtroopers. So you're going to get your normal amount of minis plus, and the models look good. Same thing
Mhm.
with the rebel troopers and the commandos. I think you're still only getting a set number of commandos because they don't have the super squads. But your rebel troopers, the new ones, do. You'll get your normal four, five, six or so plus another five, so 11.
Mhm.
Um, and you're going to get every language in them as well.
Yeah.
B2 battle droids are
I
back. Oh, no, go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, I'm gonna be very curious. I'd be very curious to find out how the pricing works on these boxes because, like, the range of models. Because 7 to 11, okay, they're the same price, but what is it? The B2s have what is it? 9 models, and they're only $40. And then you've got the ARF Troopers that just came out. They have 8 models, but they're $55. So I'm me personally, I'm just curious how like they're landing on some of the prices. I'm not complaining about it because it is what it is. It's just the a curiosity for me. I mean, it's probably a special forces upcharge because
Mm,
unless you're doing Tempest Force, you're only getting 3 boxes of Scout Troopers, unless you get what we're talking about later.
right.
um, and so, um, yeah, and we can kind of guesstimate how much value you're going to be saving using these prices in a little bit too.
Yes. I think that the new value is going to be great, and we're going to see a lot of those boxes disappear
Hmm.
real
Real
quick.
fast.
Yeah. But I think it has to be because you want more access to core units versus
Hmm.
special forces units. I think that's the only thing. Um, Core units are going to be a little bit more important to have, so maybe that's why that's a little cheaper. And special forces are kind of like they're adding to your army, and so maybe it's a
Well, it's
little
only the
different.
B2s that are cheaper,
Ah,
because otherwise the Rebel Troopers and the like Rebel Commandos are the same price, but it's 7 versus 11 models.
hmm.
So like maybe that's why it is where it is, and because it's only 9 B2s, which are arguably going to be a simpler mold than the than the new Rebel sculpts. That's only reason why I can think that they're maybe why they're $10 less. But hey, it is what it is. Like I said, um, yeah.
Um, well, yeah, and it looks like I don't know if they were mostly also putting these up because they're finally back in stock. The BT battle droids and the Commander Cody with Waxer and Boyle.
Mhm.
And then now the new Outer Rims Outlaws. They're going to finally have Boba and Din in the same box. So that makes it a little bit easier, as well as, a little bit nicer for Rebels.
Uh, the background of that art can just disappear. Ugh. those, those stupid bikes.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't notice them the first time I looked at this picture.
Yeah, me neither. Well, hey, do you think now that you see it, we're gonna wind up getting
Uh,
bikes for Rebels or
uh,
for whatever this is?
I hope not. They can just stay in the background and be happy about it.
Right? Yeah. Um, I'm sure we'll probably get them in the future just because they want to have fun.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
and then the assassin droids are coming together, which they
Yeah.
always have been, but we're getting a new, I guess, box look. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's pretty cool. The bus speeder truck is looking great, and then its new packaging. All right, I'm sure this is what a lot of people are excited to hear about and talk about is Ahsoka. So I know that you had brought up, do you think you'll be able to use the command cards for the upgrade Ahsoka? And I don't think so. And the only reason I'm saying that is because the on the command card it says Ahsoka Tano Padawan Commander, and on upgrade it just says Ahsoka Tano Jedi Padawan. And for the command cards, it's specifically for the Padawan Commander. So I don't think that the upgrade would allow you
Okay.
to bring it because I guess it's more specific towards that.
That's fair. I
Um,
was also wondering if it would just from a rules perspective, like currently you wouldn't be able to because it says nominated commander.
hmm.
Um which obviously the unit card couldn't be in the current rules. But I mean, maybe they could have like possibly changed the rules with the update coming out on April 15th, which would also be kind of cool. But no, this makes sense and uh looks like this is probably going to be how they um stop adult Ahsoka from gaining access to these cards.
Yes,
Um,
that's what I'm
and I'll be
assuming too.
curious to see if we see something similar with the other what was it other 4 unit or commander operatives that have 6 command cards, being like Luke, Vader, Boba, and Maul. If they're going to get similar things on their cards, or if they're going to stay the same, where they just say the generic character's name or the
Um,
inclusive character's name.
so it looks like on the Phantom Menace, like the new
Hmm.
card that was behind the Darth Maul, on the
Hmm.
bottom, it looks like it would say Maul.
Yeah,
So I don't know. That's a good question, to be honest. I'm not sure if they're gonna prevent a lot of other units like
because they
Ahsoka.
already have it where CIS Mall can only use CIS Mall cards. So probably you can expect the Shadow Collective Mall to get the Ahsoka Padawan Commander treatment then.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'll be curious to see if they do that to Luke or Vader and Boba. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah. So with the new Ahsoka card, she's got Jump 2, Associate Anakin Skywalker, which means that she can be taken without, having to, uh, you
Take
know,
up a slot.
yeah, exactly. So now you can take, like Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and Anakin.
Mhm.
And there was something else that we were trying to talk about with the. Oh, yeah, okay. So maybe the new upgraded Chewbacca will have Associate Yoda, so that way
Oh,
you can still bring Yoda and Chewie and have a third commander. So maybe
uh, that'd
that would
be
be cool. Or at least the Wookiee Battle Force could have Associate Yoda in there. I don't know.
uh,
I think it would be.
I hope that's the case. So bad. I've said it before. I'll say it again since you're bringing it up. Essentially, I hate that he's a commander
Yeah.
and can only guardian one other unit on the board.
Yep.
Every other one can do multiples.
Well, yeah, and hey, maybe the new Rebel upgrade or update might make Chewie only Commander Guardian.
Hmm.
So I think maybe they'll try to fix that. If not, well, we're in the same boat as normal, and we'll just have to keep.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah. So that makes it things a little easier.
Mhm.
But all right. So yeah, she'll have Associate Anakin. She's got Deflect. She's got Immune to Pierce. Independent Recover, which is extremely nice. So basically, Master of the
Mhm.
Force one, in a way. Scout one and Xian Mastery, which we'll kind of deviate for a second on that one. 5 health, 2 courage. Surge into crit, which is a great. She doesn't surge to defend, but she's got deflect, which gives her that. Speed 3, which with Xian Mastery makes sense, because I'll go over that again in a second. And then
Mhm.
her lightsabers impact 2, pierce 1. Not bad. I think this is the same as like an Inquisitor, the impact 2, pierce 1. And then
Yeah.
5 black, 3 white. So you're still rolling 8 dice with
Mhm.
Surge to crit. And I think even mentioned on stream is the fact that if you put Saber Throw on her, you're still rolling 4 black dice. So
Yeah.
that's not going to be too bad.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then um, and then her clone trooper upgrade is 35 points, which is not bad. She's going to be the leader, and her sidearm is going to be melee and ranged. So it looks like um, you could theoretically do something with that. Like,
Well, this is just. I think they're changing. This is probably an indicator that they're changing the sidearm rule to not just be sidearm ranged like it had been up until this point.
okay,
So now it's probably. I don't know. So we're not getting a reprinted ARF cards, but that would have been lovely to have on the Jedi Guardian.
yeah.
So close, guys.
Well,
um,
at least they
yeah,
can update it for print and play if they need
that
to.
is true. Hopefully they do that because that's just nice if they
Right.
can do that.
She will give the unit block, which is really good. So now you don't have to necessarily worry about spending the surge token on reliable one for defense um, in ranged or melee. I guess
Mhm,
you just need a dodge, which you'll get independent dodge and
mhm,
charge. So this is going to be amazing. You can now put you can almost have every unit in, not every unit I should say, but you should have 2 units of core gain charge with between fives and her, and then all of your arcs have charge, and then maybe you have,
mhm,
Anakin with charge or someone else with charge, and so
mhm.
you're just constantly getting the chance to just save actions, and your action economy gets a little bit better. Her profile that
I
she's
could
bring.
also.
No, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say I could also actually see some value to her on like the Guardians in an ARF squad, just because while she's not offensively contributing, she is defensively contributing to them.
Mm-hmm.
So making them even more tankier, they're now a surging red low profile unit at range 4.
Yeah.
At least for the first shot. So
Hmm.
that's pretty good.
Right?
And if something gets too close, now they have charge and it's more dice, and you're gaining critical on top of the Pierce 1 and Impact 2 that the Guardian has.
Yeah. Hmm. And yeah, I guess with it just being like a normal clone trooper only, I guess you can
Yeah,
attach it to whatever special forces you want as well, and
yeah,
um,
just not the Wookiees.
just not the Wookiees. That's so sad. Maybe we'll get something a little different at some point for
Mhm.
that. But okay, so Shin Mastery. If
Yes.
we take a quick look at it, it looks like Shin is great at emphasizing strength, aggression, and the ability to deflect blaster rifle or blaster fire. And she's already got deflect, but I think maybe with like Shien deflection is a technique that allows practitioners to simultaneously deflect blaster fire and leap towards an opponent. So maybe if she successfully deflects, she gets a free move. I mean, that could be something. Um, a maneuver where the user deflects blaster fire and redirects some of the incoming blasts. Maybe she could, if she deflects, she could pick a unit that's at range 1 of the unit that's shooting. That could be something. Maybe if she successfully deflects, she could, like I said, get a free speed something, and or um, maybe follow up with an attack if she successfully deflects something. That's the only thing I can think of with
Yeah, that'd be really
Shan.
cool if she essentially got the Wookiee Battle Force role, but for deflecting.
Yeah. Um, yeah, after the taking a wound or after losing a Wookiee model, you get to make a free move.
Hmm.
So I think that could be something that
Yeah.
is allowed with Shin. I know that we can go over command cards next if
Mhm.
unless
Yeah.
you had anything else to add. Okay.
No, I think because that'll the her two pip will kind of lead into that conversation as well.
Yeah. So I'll go over the one pip first. Oh, whoops.
Hmm.
Of course, I'd lose it as soon as I try to get on there. Sorry, guys, for all the back and forth. So, her one pip, you are beaten. So, Ahsoka Tano gains charge this round. That's one thing. If she defeats one or more enemy units this round, she can make up to 2 attack actions and make a free move action during her activation this round. So it sounds like you could technically move, charge. If you finish off the unit, you can make another free move action and get another charge since it's still in her activation. And it's a free move action. It's not a free move like her 3 pip says. Just make a speed 3 move. This one's still a move action. So she's going to be moving fast if she's moving at speed 3. So that's 16 inches charge, hopefully finish off a unit, move another 8 inches, finish off on the, or at least attack a unit. Um, so when Ahsoka Tano also attacks an enemy with a melee this round, if you don't finish them off, after the attack is resolved, the defending unit may make a free move action and can withdraw with that action. So you could potentially also be giving your opponent the ability to score or get into
Mhm.
scoring range. So you're going to have to be careful of who you decide to attack with uh, with this card. So I would just be careful. But you, like I said, you are making possibly a 16-inch move, free charge, another possible 8-inch charge, and getting to attack twice with 8 dice, surge to crit. That's really really nice. Uh,
So I'm realizing there's a way to get 3 attacks out of this.
um,
You essentially need Yoda, and he guidance the standby if she's already engaged. She triggers the standby outside of her activation, then she can make 2 attacks during her activation.
yeah,
If assuming she kills someone from the standby attack or the first attack during her activation.
True.
Uh, because
Or-
otherwise, it's very weird how this is worded. Because it's not like she gets access to choke.
right. Yeah. Because what else is a little weird? I guess.
Because like what defeating one or more enemy units this round, then she can make 2 attacks. So outside of a standby or forced choke, I don't know how she's defeating 2 units or more than 1 unit before using 2 attacks.
Yeah. Okay, that's true.
So it's just it reads weird. It just wasn't necessary, but future proofing.
That's all I could think of.
Yeah.
There's no Palpatine yet for Republic.
Hmm. Yeah.
For her 3-pip, it's I go where I'm needed. So Ahsoka is going to make a speed 3 move. This is not going to trigger anything. It's just making a speed move.
Hmm.
This round, Ahsoka is going to gain Guardian 3 and disengage. Her courage is increased by 1. She treats her maximum speed as 1, and her maximum speed cannot be increased. So no bursting during the time that you use this card. So you're going to be able to, at least in the very beginning or end of her activation, you can make a free speed 3 move. So if you need to get into range to where, because you're only going to be speed 1, then, and I guess side note, that's going to be good against force push this round, because I think it's saying this round you're going to treat her maximum speed as 1. So if she were to get an immobilized token,
Hmm.
well, I guess never mind. That's okay. You know, this whole force push thing and immobilized stuff has gotten me crazy, or something. A little
Fair.
PTSD. Okay, so, but yeah, her courage is gonna be 3. She's gonna move speed 1, and then she can disengage anytime she needs to. It's nice. It's
Hmm.
basically
Yeah.
you're trying to put her in a position to where maybe she can guardian basically, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then her next one is a 4-pip, which I'm assuming
Hmm.
you're treating as a 2-pip, because it says so.
Hmm.
She's going to gain 3 dodge tokens. Additionally, she is going to gain Jarkai Mastery and loses Xian Mastery. So this is, it almost feels like it's leading up to her adult version where she can spend the dodges to, you know, increase her damage
Right.
output. But yeah, so she's going to lose independent dodge and just immediately gain 3 dodges instead, and then gain Jarkai. So you're probably going to want to get her into melee with this round, as much as you can, and try to do some damage. And I would assume that you're probably going to be using this one after the 1-pip, just
Uh,
because
yeah.
the 2-pip technically is what's going to um, get you to finish off whoever you went with. You are beaten, possibly, because at least being able to do a lot of free move actions with the 1-pip, and then eventually lay down Revenge is Not the Jedi Way to take out whoever you are engaged with. She's gonna essentially do a bunch of cool maneuvering.
Especially also if it's a just a survival thing with the end text of you are beaten with the whole letting your opponent make a withdraw. Then
Mm.
she's like sitting out in the open depending on the timing of when you activate her on her 1 pip. Getting 3 dodges when you're sitting out in the open. It's helpful.
Yeah. So I think this should be a great unit to play. You know,
Mhm.
uh, I, she seems pretty powerful. 5 health is going to be a little bit low, and courage too, um, a little low, but she's a Padawan, so I think that it makes sense.
Yeah.
The speed 3 is really nice, and I can't wait to find out what she and Mastery is. And with Scout 1,
Mhm.
you're going to be, I feel like, getting her into
Oh, yeah.
perfect positioning real quick.
Yeah, I don't know what the math is on that. I haven't tried to measure that out yet to see how far you can get on turn 1. but I
Uh,
imagine it's pretty far.
yeah, especially if you do the one pip. So that's what, 4 inches plus then 16, so that's 20 inches. And then if you finish off the unit, you get an extra 8 inches. So that's 28 inches
Mm,
possible. Uh,
goodness.
and if you have force push with her independent
Yeah.
recover, um,
Mhm.
yeah, she might get defeated real quick, but at least you just did an opening salvo, which is going to hopefully at least cripple something because you're getting two
Mhm.
attack actions that turn too. So
Yep.
move your 4, move your 16, free attack, and then um, if you finish it off, yeah, that's so much. That's so good. And then force pushing to bubble yourself
It's a
in.
little ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, and we'll keep going through here. We have the new
Mhm.
customizable commanders, which I think is going to be extremely cool. This is
Mhm.
going to be the only what you see is what you get on the table, from what I hear.
Yes.
So a lot of magnetizing is going to happen. Uh, it looks like, I don't know if you're going to get one or two models in this.
You're getting two, so you can do at the very least you can do an operative and a commander out of a box.
Okay, so get yourself at least one, and then magnetize the crap out of it because you're going to want to be able to customize it and not have to buy so many. But I'm probably gonna still get 2 boxes because then
Oh yeah.
why not?
Also, just for the all the extra parts, because one thing they talked about is the majority of these boxes have 20 plus pieces in them. Uh, one of them has 40 plus. Um, Looking at the if the art is to be believed, it's pretty easy to tell which one has the 40 plus, which is kind of surprising. I
Hmm.
wouldn't have picked that one, but uh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
excited.
oh yeah, it's yeah, and the what you see is what you get is referencing to the weapons. They were saying that some of them have a base printed weapon, some of them don't at all. So it's all in the upgrade that you can take. Um, they did talk about how they have kind of gone about like balancing them to a degree. Is They have these upgrades that you can take called Dark Doctrines. The custom commanders and operatives themselves are not pipped, so they're not unique. You can potentially take four of them, like two commanders and two operatives, but the doctrines themselves, see at the very least, are maxed out at 2 pips. So the most you can ever do is two commanders with the same, or one and one, or two operatives that have the same. But you can never have all four having the same doctrine.
Hmm. Yeah, I think this is going to be pretty cool because it's also supposed to cover maybe any weak points that you have in your list.
Hmm.
Maybe kind of bring up whatever you have or accentuate something. So maybe
Yeah.
now Empire could actually have a commander that hands out dodges to your
Yeah.
Inquisitors. Maybe this is going to help the Inquisitors a lot at
Hmm.
this point, and then, or at least a gun line, like even support if you want just specifically all guns. You don't have to bring Veers just for your vehicles now. I don't know. I think it's going to bring a lot to the table.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Um, and then I just wanted to stop on the artwork that's coming up next.
Yeah.
This
So,
is clearly droidica legs. Why are we saying spider legs?
right, right.
That's all I could think about the entire time I saw this picture.
Is the fact that it's all
Uh,
droidica stuff.
yeah, and I doubt it, but I am very curious since the legs are an option, and if they're not strictly cosmetic, the ball joint, I'm pretty sure, is where the shield generator is actually stored for a droidica.
Ah.
So curious. I doubt it. It's probably just cosmetic, but I'm curious. Could you
That,
imagine like a super tack that has a shielded one or something like that?
oh my god. That would uh that would
Yeah,
severely, oh
that'd
my
be a little
god.
scary.
Yeah. That would severely alter. the entire plan, well, bounty would at least
Hmm.
it would be worth it at that point because then you're going to probably be
Oh yeah.
spending everything trying to get for that thing, um,
Hmm.
spending all your time trying to delete this one unit. But that is
Oh yeah.
some crazy artwork, and it also, I don't know, what its left hand is. I don't know if that's like a flamethrower because in the background everything's in flames and it's
I
smoking.
would guess so, just from the tubing would be my guess.
Right. Because I'm also thinking of Boba Fett, having his flamethrower, everything connected with that tube as well.
Mhm.
So it would be insane to have a flamethrower and a pistol range gun all in one, and then you're probably moving. Do you think moving speed one, if it's going to be the same as Droidekas?
If it is strictly cosmetic, I imagine no. If it is cosmetic or not cosmetic and actually has a purpose, then yes.
Okay.
But it could also be, even if it isn't cosmetic and it actually serves a purpose, if it's a weakened shielded, I could still seeing its speed too because it is still on a regular trooper base.
Mm.
It's not like it's on the Droideka base.
That's what I was wondering if they were going to add a Droideka base in there for that one
You
specific one
imagine?
build. Yeah, I can imagine that. Oh, I was scared for like 5 seconds whenever I saw that, thinking about the the base being huge.
That's
Um,
fair.
yeah, but at least we also know that you can, if you wanted to, give the Magna Guard uh,
Mhm.
staff
Yep.
to the leader now, and you can bulk up your T1. Looks like it's just a transformer kind of style uh, tac droid, and then the customizable Jedi General and Knight.
Mhm.
This one's going to be really good because with a
Yep.
Knight and versus so someone who's probably more with the Force versus someone who's probably just more aggressive. Um,
Mhm.
I think this is going to be really cool. I know that I don't know if they're going to come with multiple heads or not, but at least if
Oh, yeah, no, they've got a bunch.
okay, cool. I think
Yeah.
it. Oh man, this is going to be so cool. And if you haven't gotten the ARFs, then you're going to be able to have extra heads that you can put on for your Jedi Guardian,
Yeah.
or
I mean,
maybe
it's real nice that this is coming out at the same time as the one of the soon to follow items, because uh, that comes with a guardian in it with the ARF troopers. So if you get this with that box at the same time, then yeah, that's a lot of bits you got to work with right there
I
to make a
know.
real custom one. And since we're talking about these custom commanders and operatives, one thing to mention, not for Republic because they're Jedi and we don't have a generic Jedi, but for uh, Rebels and Empire, they are losing the officer units that are in the commander slot. They are not losing the officer upgrades that can go in the core. Um, and those are going to replace the generic officers in those two factions. For the CIS, they are losing the generic super tech, but also if you saw the cards from the prize wall, you'll see that the names and pips were inverted from the Legacy Legion cards to where it is now Kraken and Kalani that are pipped, not Super Tactical Droid that is pipped for uniqueness. Um, but the one thing we don't know about CIS is, do they still have the T series, the regular T series, as a commander unit? Because they didn't mention that one way or the other in any of the interviews that I found.
Hmm.
So they may still have an even cheaper commander that's left lying around that has direct AI or direct and whatnot. Um, so yeah,
So CAS is
but
going to be extremely powerful coming up soon.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh man. Well, I guess I should start to go ahead and get the invasion box and then everything else.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least if you do get an invasion box, you can now go get the tools and just the regular upgrade
Hmm.
cards and the battle card pack and the battle deck stuff. Um,
Hmm.
it looks like you're going to be able to go ahead and get the printable, maybe cardboard, um, you know, victory point,
Uh, yep. And the scoreboard,
scoreboard. Yeah, why couldn't I
um,
think of the name?
and a full set of the new generic command tokens,
Hmm.
which I'm curious how many of each rank is going to come in that. Um, like, I imagine it's probably enough for a.
Battle
I'm cur-
Force.
well,
So like,
not a battle force. I imagine just like the regular ones.
mm,
Um, like if it'll max out at the max of standard list building, so 226 332. Um,
I would
or if it's going to
assume.
be, it might also be slightly less, and it might be skirmish or recon based since they are coming in all the new boxes too.
Mm,
Um, which is also possible, but who knows? Either way, it's still going to be a good thing to have. Um, and these are coming out in quarter 3, so I believe that's August through October is quarter 3. Um, I might be wrong on that, but I believe so.
yeah.
Uh, and then that also the generic upgrade cards, the faction and mercenary upgrade cards. Although they did mention that the faction upgrade cards and unit, or at the very least, the unit cards, do have all of the mercenaries that can be taken in that faction in that faction's card pack.
Nice.
So you don't need to get the mercenary card pack in order to get Boba Fett for Rebels or Empire. You
Okay.
just get the Rebel or Empire one, and you're good to go.
Hmm. Nice. Okay.
Um,
Okay. They're making this a little bit easier. Yeah, because I
oh
guess
yeah,
these are all the card
yeah.
boxes, the new unit pack card, or new unit card packs.
Hmm.
So, mercenaries is going to be nice, I guess, for the Shadow Collective, and then obviously your Rebel, Empire, CIS, and GAR. And I think they said it was only going to come with t- uh, like
It is
three.
half
Yeah.
rounded up.
Yes.
So in the case of the ones that are 3, you're going to get 2 out of your 3. Otherwise, you're just going to get like, I mean, the commanders don't matter because you only get one, you can only take one anyways. But I guess for like Republic, the generic clone commander, you only get one of in that pack. Um, and they did mention that these, with how they package them, are going to be $15 to $25 each. Um, So, I mean, probably the battle deck and the toolbot, the essentials kit are going to be 25. Probably the generic upgrade one is going to be around that price too. And then I imagine all the other ones are going to be closer to the 15 or at least 20 and less.
And didn't they say they
Would be
were
my
going to kind of
guess.
like discontinue after a little while the card upgrade?
The
Like it's a
the
limited time?
unit, yeah, the unit cards and the command card ones are limited time, but the generic upgrade one, Essentials Kit and Battle Deck card pack are gonna stick around.
Okay. So, probably best to get two of your
Yeah.
unit card packs,
Hmm.
except for maybe Shadow Collective. Probably only need one, but probably two. I'm gonna have to get what 246.
I I don't want to think about how much I'm spending on just cards,
I know,
but I really like from listening to them explain it over and over again. I really can't hate them for how they're doing this. It makes sense because
right?
it's
Not a card
um
game. It's a mini game.
It's not a card game, so they don't care about making money on this. They just need to make enough to make enough, essentially. Um, and um, it's also then uh, cuts down on the weight, which cuts down on the prices, on the shipping costs and whatnot. So yeah, that all makes a lot of sense once you hear it explained to you,
Right.
instead of just like looking at it and seeing like sticker shock value.
Hmm. And the command card packs are looking pretty cool. I'm
Hmm.
liking that. All right, and then we've got the starter sets now. So I know
The
we've been going
big
a
thing.
yes. I know we've been going a little long, but please stick with us. We're going to try to at least give you the information economically as well about these things.
Mhm.
So we've got the Rebel Alliance starter set, which is now going to come with 2 core units, a Wookiee Warriors unit, and 1 Rebel Commandos. So basically, you're getting 2 special forces and 2 core, along with a commander, and dice, range, movement, your scoreboards, and all the tokens needed, as well as the new cards. So you're getting so many things in this box.
Mhm.
The next one would be the Empire. You're getting 2 Stormtrooper units and 2 Scout Trooper units. Um, so that's going to be really great. And the new sculpt of Vader. The Separatist starter set's going to come with a set of B2s, a set of B1s, and then two. Well, I guess just one droidicate unit. So let's see. That's 1 B2s. Is that 2 B1s?
So, yeah, two B1s, one B2, the Droidicas and Grievous.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
And
yeah,
then
which this is the only box that we really don't have a ballpark on how much this one's going to cost. The other
gotcha.
ones we can kind of guess.
Okay.
Um, but with the Droidicas and the B1s, with how massive the B1 box is going to be, I think, what is it? 15 models, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and we haven't had any supports yet show up in the pre-release. Um, we just don't know how much those are going to cost. But just for those like wondering, it's the I'm estimating that the commanders are probably $25 each if they were to print them separately as single models. Um, with Ahsoka being 30, and that comes with 2 models, so maybe it's 25, maybe it's closer to 30, give or take $5. The Rebel box is probably around a $215 value. The Empire box is around 225. Uh, and the last box that we're going to go over is probably around 240.
Oh my goodness. All right. So yeah, we have the new Republic box. So that one is going to come with Anakin. Or sorry, not Anakin. The new Obi-Wan sculpt. Um, 2 clone troopers. The arcs, the new arcs, and a set of ARFs, and the Jedi Guardian. So this is going to be awesome. The new ARC troopers don't have flight stands because I think what we heard and or
Yeah.
um, I like that there's no flight stands. Good lord, I'm so happy that there's
Yeah.
no flight stands. I am so tired of going to places and having them snap off the flight stands and having to consistently
Hmm.
bring glue with me and not be able to fit them in the box. But okay, they also look really cool. I really like them.
Yes.
Um, these guys, um, I didn't get a fourth box, so I might have to just get one extra ARC squad because that's
Mhm.
going to look so nice. And then am excited about the new sculpts for the phase ones or twos, whichever one you want to call them.
Yeah. It is worth noting, since we're talking about the new sculpts for the arcs, it was revealed as a little spoiler for the update coming out on the 15th that arcs are losing the jetpack. Don't know, or the jetpack upgrade, which is kind of unfortunate because it was cool having the arcs and uh, VX commandos being in versions of each other, with the one needing to take an upgrade to get jump and the other one needing to take an upgrade to get charge.
Mm-hmm.
But oh well. but we don't know if that means that Rex no longer has a jetpack or not. So we don't know that.
Oh no. Oh,
Um,
that's rough.
yeah. But if that's the case, and it's only Rex that has it, maybe he can finally get it for free.
Yeah. Hey, I'd be totally down for that.
Or maybe it's just built in because we don't know. There could be other minor updates.
True. And I have modeled my Rex to have a jetpack, so I
Mhm.
don't feel like tearing that thing off of him.
Yep.
Um,
And it is worth noting these because they talked to a bunch of stores, and the stores told them, "Hey, if these boxes are over $100, there's a higher chance that people are going to pick them up and put them back down." So they went with these things being 95.99. What? Like, nobody was guessing that.
oh my
I
goodness.
think we were all kind of guessing around at the low end was 120.
Man, yeah,
So
these are
that's
going to be so good and
yeah.
so cheap. You might as well just get two of them just to start
Hmm.
off, and you have an
Oh yeah.
amazing army right there.
Yep.
Um, I might have to do
And
that
that
with Empire.
yeah, that Empire one, if you were just starting out with Empire and you really want to play Tempest, but you also want to start out with a bunch of core, you get 3 of those. You have now spent a third of what it would cost to buy that stuff separately.
Yep. And
Because don't
now,
forget, you're also getting dice and tools and tokens and cards and the scoreboard for less than the cost of 2 core units at this point,
mm,
or less than the cost of 2 boxes of Rebel Troopers or Stormtroopers.
yeah. And then all you need is an ATST, and then maybe you can just get
Yeah,
Blizzard just to have a whole bunch of snowtroopers and a second ATST, as well as a
yeah.
E-Web, I think. I don't know if I forgot if the E-Webs come in.
No, it comes with speeder bikes,
Oh, speeder bike. Oh, speeder bikes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
which helps out with Tempest Force also still.
Exactly. So, man, you just need those what four things, and you're
Yeah,
good. And now you've got
yeah.
four Vaders and two different sculpts, and then who
Mhm.
needs Operative Vader at that point?
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got the new Heroes of the Rebellion with the new two Lukes, uh, Leia, Chewie, and Han. So
Mhm,
I'm really excited about the new Luke sculpts. Those things look really cool. Um,
mhm.
and Indoor all over again. No Hoth, Leia yet, or Han. Maybe one day. The some con exclusive will just be the um, Hoth versions of these guys.
I mean, I found the pilot Luke on eBay one day, like years ago now.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I would love to see everyone else in Hoth gear.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, and like this is what we can expect to see. So like one thing in one of the interviews, I believe this was from the JodoCast interview with them, they were saying um, one downside with these things is it might take a little bit longer to get some characters to come out, but the good thing is you're never gonna get only one character now because in order for them to save us money and themselves money on just production and shipping, at the very least we're going to be getting boxes of 3 for characters. So that means that you'll always be getting not just one character and then you have to wait another like year for another character. You're always going to be getting at least 3 characters at a time now for a faction.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Um, and then we have the Clone Trooper Marksman, which we've seen before, but now we get kind of like an updated photo of them. They're going to have the RPS and the mortars for their heavy, and they all have the what's the DC-15s, so they're all
Yes.
hopefully going to be range 4. Um, and I like the box art too. That looks pretty sweet um, as well. But the mortar guy is walking on the field like a boss. He has no care in the world. The either high the bad to the bone or something is playing in the background while he walks forward.
Yes.
Maybe that's why it's cumbersome, is because he's holding it like that and he's just like walking like he doesn't care.
Hey, who knows? Maybe cumbersome's getting changed on the 15th, or maybe a little bit after that. But it's probably getting changed soon. We hope.
We hope. We hope.
Um, and I'm very happy to see that they've put a model in the box that looks like a unit leader.
Yeah, exactly.
Because why did you design the arse that way? There is nothing distinct in that box.
Right.
So this one guy makes me very happy.
Right. Pointing. It's always the guy who's got a
Yeah,
point. That
he's
always
gonna
makes
point
it.
real hard.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and then the ARC troopers look insanely good as
Mhm.
well. I'm
Yes.
excited again to have these guys. I'm definitely gonna have to pick me up a fourth box with them
Mhm.
specifically. And
And
no, go ahead.
er, it's very nice that we are getting two snipers in these boxes now that Echo and Fives have been removed from these boxes.
Hmm.
So now there is no worries about saying like, hey, which one? If you want to bring Echo, but you also want to bring more snipers, and you've run out of snipers, now you don't have to say like, no, it's this one that's Echo. No, it's this one that's Echo. It's like, "Oh, there's only one Echo now."
Yep. So that so much nicer. And I
Yes.
already have three of them, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have a I don't I don't know the the correct stuff, but a hellish General Grievous on wheels. This was going to
Yep.
be rough. I think some
Yep.
people in the Discord were, thinking like, "Oh, it's gonna throw a clone trooper." I mean, I think it would be insane if it had, scatter.
That would be
But
crazy.
yeah, right. Because I'm assuming it's gonna have overrun for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and probably some other ranged attack. Because we're also it's getting shown that we're getting personal wheel bikes for either
Mm-hmm.
the Magnus or some commando droids. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Which the Magnas are supposed to be an upgrade from the BX Commandos riding in them.
oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Um, I'll be very curious to see what the melee slash like engagement rules are for these guys.
Hmm.
And with Luke and Han on the Tauntauns, they've shown off before. Like, are they going to get vehicle keyword or are they going to get trooper keyword? Like, so do they become engaged or do they not become engaged and they're just in melee?
Hmm.
That'll be my curiosity there.
I would assume the bikes probably would be a vehicle and then trooper unit for the Tauntauns.
Yeah, could be. I've honestly I've got no clue. But yeah, and
Um,
either way, be happy.
yeah.
It looks amazing.
Yeah. I wonder if General Grievous is not necessarily. I mean, he's probably going to be a commander, but I wonder if it's going to be different. Uh,
They are different, and that was apparently a big struggle. Was how do you make the same character different?
right.
And it's not like a different version, like a younger Vader as the operative kind of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll be interested to
Right.
see how they wind up making that one. Um,
And those guys are also going to be a unit of two, like Staps or Droidicas. They're not like the crab droids where it's a box that comes with two units in it.
yeah, I'm excited for them to be just one. Hopefully, 3 health
Mhm.
each, not 4 health each.
At least, yeah.
Yeah. Um, Next up, we have the Imperial High Command. So now we're gonna have Thrawn into the game
Hmm.
and Tarkin in the game, as well as what Tag, um,
Yes,
and then Krennic, a little bit
yes.
different looking. I like the older Krennic. I might just try to scalp a
Hmm.
box or try to not scalp a box, but try to just get a box of the old Krennic because I like the way he looks there. Um, but the
Did you
new
hear the story about them sculpting Krennic? This new
no,
Krennic?
no, 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 no.
I at this point I can't remember which interview it is because I watched them all to make sure like we could compile all the information into one place for everybody. But apparently, while they were sculpting this, they were running into a problem where they were trying to do the scene that like kind of becomes the meme, like you were like so close to like perfection or whatever it was. But apparently, they were struggling with it ending up making him look like he was aggressively Italian and talking with his hands just from the scale.
Oh no.
Yeah. I can't wait to see that in model just so I can like see that in person and see like how they were able to not make him look aggressively Italian.
Right? I just want to put like a fake cigarette in between his two fingers
Yeah.
and like have him just smoking as he's walking on the battlefield.
Hmm.
Um, and just be consistently angry at the fact that he's being overshadowed all the time by Tarkin.
Yep.
um,
And oh,
no,
I
go ahead.
think I might have remembering this wrong because again, like I've watched a bunch of these now. There was some coy words thrown around where it sounded like Tarkin could kinda, he's in the background. He's kinda like pulling the strings. So maybe.
That would actually make sense. I mean,
Yeah.
he was a very very powerful commander.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
and ruthless, very ruthless.
Yes.
So I think
True.
that would ruthless would be a cool keyword for him as well. I think, but
Yeah. I agree.
I wonder if tag would be, you know, uh, like a direct special forces or maybe direct someone or
Yeah.
um, maybe
He's the
guiding.
only one that I have no clue what he could possibly be doing.
Yeah, I completely forgot exactly where he is from. I mean, Unlimited is the only thing that makes me think of him. But
He's the original guy that gets choked.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Um, it has an ATST behind him or next to him, and I guess it's like a hologram. So I'm assuming he can be something similar to like a vehicle type commander.
Maybe.
I know Thrawn would be great for a bunch of like strategize and
Hmm.
um, probably have a really good melee profile and whatnot. But I think he'll be the one to hopefully outsmart people with his command cards. I think that'll be really cool to see.
Hmm.
And I think uh, he'll be like, is Kalani the one with strategize too? I would assume that he's going to be kind of similar to
Yes.
that, and maybe
Hmm.
Kraken, maybe not melee profile, but at least like more like aggressive would be Tarkin. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Um, and then next up, was there anything else?
Oh, or he's got something that has to do with flying vehicles. I could see that too, because his
Yeah,
big thing is about like spaceships and being an admiral. So
right. And I'm trying to think if we're gonna get any ships soon for Empire.
yeah, I don't know. The scale from even starfighter to ground is hard to tell a lot of the time.
Hmm. We are getting probe droids for Empire,
Hmm.
so this will be amazing to have.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's very similar to Maul's probe droids, but a little bit better. Maybe probably a little more firepower. I would assume, especially since they're much
Yeah.
bigger. Um,
Yeah. 'Cause what we do know is that they are a box of at least I think it's two, but they're a unit of one. Um, they are detachment special forces slot, not like a particular special forces unit. So for every unit of special forces, you can take an extra probe droid, and apparently there are ways to take more than just that in the Blizzard Force Battle Force.
hmm,
Since I mean that's where we know them from. But
right.
yeah.
That'll be cool. I think this would help with scout troopers a lot because scout troopers have a
Hmm.
hard time with trying to move and aim and shoot, especially with the
Yep.
dice pool they have. So maybe they could. They're probably gonna have observe and
Hmm.
hopefully move ahead of the scout troopers and just kind of give them a little bit more. oomph in their attack.
Yeah.
Um,
And it is worth noting that they also dropped that the self destruct keyword is going to be changing, and it's all because of them.
they're special.
Yep.
That's hey, I like it. It's going to be very
Yeah.
thematic. We do have a Heroes of the 501st, so now we have a very new Anakin, a very new Obi Wan, Fives, Echo, and Rex. Um, no, I think you had made the comment that we had Obi Wan with the clone armor and Anakin without, and now we have Anakin with the clone armor and Obi Wan without. And I was like,
Yep.
the dichotomy between the two is a little like always different. They're always opposites. Like
Hmm.
you know,
Which I did this a while ago, and I know I showed you before the cast, but I can't wait to rip this Anakin body off of my extra Obi-Wan and throw it underneath the other Obi-Wan.
he's just ooh yeah. Instead of the thing he's jumping off
Clone
of,
Wars.
you can just have Obi
Yeah.
Wan jumping off of Anakin's body instead.
Oh gosh, insult to injury.
Yeah, for real. And then just have "I hate you" like running in the background.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
but no, I'm excited about the new Anakin mold.
Hmm.
I've been wanting that specific character of Anakin for a while now. Um, so that's really cool. Rex is going to be great. I don't see him with a jetpack, sadly, so we'll see if he gets one. And then it looks like
Yep.
these two are almost the exact same um, miniature,
Yeah,
Echo and
maybe
Fives.
the helmets are slightly different. It's a little hard to tell. I mean, it looks like Rex's helmet was redesigned to look more like his actual helmet,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like maybe it might be just be the paint job, but the fins look a little more or not the
Indented.
fins, the like the respirator bulges on the side look a little bit
Ah,
more pronounced.
yeah,
Um, but that's hard to tell at this from these pictures. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for these.
yeah, same here. And then the 3D objective tokens are going to be pretty cool. I'm glad to see those.
Yeah.
And then Hondo. It looks like we are
Yes.
getting Hondo, which can be also a generic Weequay pirate as well. You
Yes.
don't have to make him that way. Luckily, a while ago, like I think almost 2 years ago, I wound up winning uh, a, a Hondo miniature from one of the guys who I usually commission for my paint jobs, and he painted it and everything. So I already have a Hondo,
There
and
you go.
he's already in that exact uniform. Uh,
Hmm.
so I am super excited to finally get the ability to play the Weequay Pirates. Um, I don't know.
You
Yeah,
know
that
what's really funny about that?
what?
Is that's roughly when those guys were ready to be released.
Oh,
Is 2
really?
years ago.
Oh my
Yeah. Apparently,
goodness.
this was the thing that partially inspired the cover change because these guys were apparently really busted with old cover.
Ah,
Because I think how they explained it is the base squad is 5 models, and then they've got a personnel slot and a heavy slot.
okay.
Uh, so you can potentially get to 7 or 8 guys. I might be, yeah. Um, yeah.
And I know that yeah, they said that they're going to be more objective holders and going for
Hmm.
the booty, um,
Hmm.
and going to be really good at melee. As you can see, all of
Yes.
them, if not most of them, are holding knives
Hmm.
and blaster pistols. So I'm assuming probably like somewhat near a black and white, or maybe like a black or I don't know, maybe two whites and ranged, and then probably like a black and a white or something like that in melee.
Yeah.
And hopefully some free movements towards objectives, or maybe like we don't have like their card, but I'm sure it's probably gonna have something like something dealing with the objective or trying to go after the
Hmm.
booty. I keep saying booty because it's just funny. Um,
Yeah.
and
a good word.
Yeah, right. It is. And then we have Hondo. I think the X for courage is dealing with the pip number. Um,
Yeah, all of his X's relate to the amount of pips that were played by your army that turn.
okay. Um, so it's constantly changing. He's gonna have Arsenal whatever, which is cool. I mean, I, you only really have like two things.
Yeah,
He can be in every faction but Shadow Collective.
yes.
Independent dodge, however many, which is good. My mood is based on profit, which we don't know quite yet what that is, but that should hopefully be released on the 15th. We have nimble, reliable, and uncanny luck, which is going to be really cool. The independent dodge and reliable is awesome. And then reliable because he doesn't surge defensively or offensively, so that's going to be pretty insane. Um, the his two pip, that's just good business. Is this round Hondo is cannot be suppressed or panicked and may perform a free move action during his activation. So at the beginning, middle, or end. The first time that Hondo moves into melee with an enemy this round, after the move is resolved, he can remove all suppression tokens on him, and then that enemy unit gains all the tokens removed. So basically, it's kind of like what you just did with Cad Bane, and now you can just give all of your suppression to your opponent, and then that enemy unit removes all green tokens on them, and Hondo gains the tokens removed. So basically, you're just swapping all your suppression for all of their green tokens. So this is going to be great against Shadow Collective, against
Yeah.
Republic. If you're moving into a unit with agile that just moved twice, you're going to be getting a ton of dodges. If you just moved into a unit of arcs that um, just scouted and didn't move or didn't use their aim tokens, you get a bunch of aims. It's a really good card. And you're not panicking or suppressing. So that way you get those move actions to get there with all of the amount of suppression you have already. So that's just kind of helping you there. And then his 3 pip, this round, when an allied unit begins its activation on the battlefield and within, which we'll talk about in a second, within
Hmm.
range 1 of Hondo, if he has a face up order token and if he's not panicked, Hondo can gain a suppression token, and if he does, the activating unit is going to gain an aim, a dodge, or a surge token. So one of them, not all of them, obviously, if he has not gone yet and he's not panicked. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Do you want to kind of explain the within,
Yeah.
and all that good stuff?
Um, so they're going to be standardizing uh, the terminology for how essentially ranges work, so that they're the same across, I believe, all three game lines now: MCP, Shatterpoint, and Legion. So it is going to be within, which they're getting rid of at. It's just going to be within, only within, and beyond. Um, so within is now going to be so long as you are slightly, one model is like slightly within the range required, the whole unit is now at range. Uh, wholly within is, well, every model has to be within that range band. Nothing could be hanging out. And then beyond is, well, beyond. I don't really know how else to describe that one. You're too far away.
Yes. Yeah. So I think that that's going to clear up a lot of language. That's what they were hoping. So I feel like that's going to be
Yes.
very helpful. So now that we know that if it's within range 1, as long as it's at touching basically that range 1,
Hmm.
that's all we need.
Yep.
Um, we also found out that Shadow Collective is going to be getting a new tank,
Yes.
along with I think every other faction, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm, I don't know about every other, but I know Rebels is.
Okay, Rebels at least. Yeah, probably not
And
Empire.
we,
Let's see.
yeah, and we know that Rebels are not able to use this as a transport, but that doesn't mean that the Pirates and Shadow Collective can't.
Right, because there is a guy hanging off the side with a
Hmm.
sniper rifle. It looks like.
Yes, because
Uh,
they were a little coy about this when they were talking to someone, or one of the interviews, and again, I can't remember which one. Um, but it was they're saying we know Rebels, or that they confirmed that Rebels cannot use this as a transport, but they did say like there may be some other ways that you can though.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
And I like the fact that you can put, pikes, some random,
the
mercenary
one of the swoop
guys.
bike riders.
Yeah, basically. And the
Which
Black Sun.
apparently this guy doesn't have an actual race or species. They have no species in the lore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It
they're just
looks like,
bonehead guy.
yeah, I was about to say, it almost just looks like a robot-y kind of dude.
Yeah,
But I don't know exactly what it is. Um, so I'm probably gonna put a Black Sun on there just because the Black Sun looked really cool. And
yeah,
maybe or magnetize it. At least put the Weequay or Black Sun or whoever on there. But yeah, this is gonna be a
or
really cool model. I'm excited to kind of get another tank. So we have the schedule, of when everything's going to be coming out. The rest of 2025 is going to be looking pretty great.
mhm,
And all of 2026 is going to be looking really good as well, especially the first 3 quarters. Like,
yeah,
uh, that's going to be amazing. And I guess they're redoing Darth Maul and Sith Probe droids. Um, the Stormtrooper upgrade expansions, the Rebel Trooper upgrades, all the upgrade expansions are going to be looking really nice. Man, the new Agent Callus in quarter 3. I
uh-huh.
guess we didn't go over that one yet. So, yeah, and
Yeah.
the Padme,
Mm.
Grandmaster Yoda. Oh, man, a new Iden. Oh, yes. So excited about Iden.
So there's one thing that we should go over about this too,
Yes.
because they did mention it. I think this was the Gray Squadron one. I could be wrong here. Um, they did say with the re-releases, there may be a select few that stay in soft plastic for the interim, just so they can get re-released, um, and give themselves some more time to finish resculpting. So it's probably going to be like smaller batches um, of them, and they didn't say like how much or whatnot, but I honestly imagine it's probably only a handful, with how much effort and like they keep talking about that being a big push for them is resculpting it. So just as a heads up, so don't get like disappointed. It's still like a work in progress kind of thing. It's going to take time. Um, and they also have said that this list is not exhaustive. There is stuff within this calendar frame that they have shown us that is not on here.
Mm.
So there are other secrets that we are not aware of.
Mm. I don't know, man. I'm so excited. Um, I think there's some stuff that's on here that we really just don't. You probably don't need because you've already have, um,
Mhm.
and maybe you don't. It's already in hard plastic.
Yep.
Kind of like the um, Inquisitors and a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I think it's going to be extremely exciting just to kind of be able to see what's going on ahead.
Yeah.
Um, Now,
And
last
some of this is held back also because they want to give time for the stuff to run out. So they're not
true.
screwing over the stores that have to now carry two versions of the same thing if they want to carry it, or
Hmm.
if so they don't have to choose.
Okay. Um, at some point, I would assume something that could be not on there, which we're going to kind of talk about in a second, is like Saul Guerrera and maybe some of the guerrilla fighters.
Hmm.
I would love to see that because with the art and the background of this last one, talking about April 15th with Jin and Cassian. I know we're probably going to get a new Cassian because they are
Yes.
showing us the new Jin Urso. She will have Agile 1, Disengage, Independent Move, so now she's going to be able to get into melee much quicker. Infiltrate, Nimble, and Sharpshooter 1. 5 health, 3
Mhm.
courage, Surgeon to crit, Surgeon to defense. She's got her um, collapsible Tonfa, which is suppressive, as well as a normal blaster already on her, which is really great. So it's really cool to see her still at Courage 3. I don't see, um, what is it, where you're rolling for danger sense. I don't think I see
Yes,
danger
yes.
sense on there
It's
anymore.
probably a command card thing
Yeah.
since she went down a health.
Yep. But the independent move is really good, and the disengage
Oh yeah.
is good. So she's very mobile, very very mobile. Um,
Yes.
Agent Callus, and with Lando, we no longer have contingencies. It looks like so no
Yes.
more
Or flood. There is no
or
flood
flaws.
anymore.
Yes, thank you so much, thank you God. So Callus is 5 health, 2 courage, doesn't surge offensive or defensively now, so that's sad because I think he used to surge to crit, and he used to
Yes.
have tactical. So no more tactical, no more surge to crit, no more um, contingencies, no flaws. It's almost like an entire new card altogether, new character altogether. And so Observe 2, not bad. That used to be on a command card, I think, for his 3 pip, uh, in a way, getting an observation token. Bounty, which is brand new for Agent Callus. Okay, cool. I like it. Charge, naturally, which is really great because his
Yep.
bow rifle is melee to range 3, is what it looks like.
Oh yeah.
Um, and we can't see the dice, but I'm sure it's not too bad. He's got direct a core trooper unit, which is finally great for Empire.
Yes.
Immune to melee pierce naturally, which again is
Mhm.
super good, and interrogate. So he's going to be able to not gain cunning, but it's the same thing that the sister has, where I think you
Yes.
can, if you both tie on your the same pips, or if you're at range 1, I think
Yes.
their
Yep.
command card pip goes down a pip. Um, so,
Yeah. It increases by one, so that yours is potentially better. You can tie or whatnot.
mhm.
Yeah.
um, and then Lando is 6 health, 2 courage, surges offensively and defensively, but surges to crit. SP2. He's got long shot, so you can spend an aim to make his blaster range 1 to 3, which is a red and 3 black. He's lost sharpshooter 2, but he has gained guidance core trooper unit, which is great, especially with their agile. Allies
Hmm.
have convenience, so if you do decide to bring pikes or anyone else like that, it's going to be really great. And I'm sure Weequay pirates could be a part of that. One step ahead, we don't know, but I'm sure that. I mean, I don't know if that has something to do with maybe the command cards. I'm sure maybe it could be like it's the opposite of interrogate. I don't know. That's what I could be
Maybe.
thinking. Um, he has steady now. Um, so you could technically aim, move, and then spend it for long shot. So you've increased your amount of your range. And uncanny luck too. He continually has. And yeah, not bad. Um, I think these are going to be fun to play. Um, I'm still excited about Callus. I wonder if he's still got a command slot that you can probably use, but we'll see.
Yeah. Uh, you could. Another thing would be really crazy is he can, even though you can't charge outside of your activation anymore, guidancing a jumbo fleets with shotgun, so they're already engaged and out of harm's way.
Yes.
Gross.
Oh my god. And then, or yeah, even aim with them if
Hmm.
you don't want them to move real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, him and fleets are going to be completely destructive. Holy crap.
Yep. Yep.
Oh man. Now.
And he's another rebel that lost Pierce, sadly.
Mhm.
So sad.
Yeah, and he's no longer range 1 to 3 at sharpshooter 2. He's only range
Yeah.
1 to 2 now, and no sharpshooter. So I think he's more stuff like sitting in the back, kind of controlling things, rather
Hmm.
than
And he
trying to get
did
up
gain
close.
2 black dice also. So he went from a 1 red, 1 black to a 1 red, 3 black. So
Okay.
that's at least something.
Yeah. No, I think that's really good.
Went from a black, white to 3 blacks for melee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he does have to get close or does have to do anything himself, he's at least capable, especially with the
Yes.
Uncanny Luck 2.
Let's see. Is there anything? I think there's only like one other thing that we need to go over, right? Um, yeah, I think the only other thing that we really have left is they mentioned in Gray Squadron, or no, sorry, they mentioned in the Dice Hate Deploy the Garrison cast that oh, that's where they mentioned that Rebels will be getting the Merc tank, um, but that they're also working on a campaign system. I hope and imagine it's kind of like the Armada 2 that they put out, or that FFG had put out, which seemed really cool. It's kind of like an escalation thing, but you're also upgrading your units as you go to, by like getting points and whatnot from battles. Um, and that should launch around the same time as the core sets. So it's just another thing that is coming out with the core sets to make them even better value.
I'm really excited about the campaign because I think it's about time that we get something that's like story based with everything.
Hmm. Yes.
And it's going to make battle reports a lot more fun. You're not just
That
skirmishing.
and isn't those like little terrain pack missions?
Yes,
uh, I do not miss those.
I know. I got the terrain packs, but I never wound up playing any of the
No.
games. It seemed cool. I think it was a great idea.
Yeah.
Um, but I think the campaign aspect is going to be so much better.
Hmm. Oh, and one thing I don't know if you noticed this because I didn't notice this until just now. Quarter 1, 2026 is surprising to me because that's when we're estimated to get Battle Pack 2, which is going to be more objectives, I'm assuming. That's
Yeah.
surprising to me because that could possibly be before Worlds next year. And could you imagine a whole set of new objectives dropping a month or two before Worlds?
Well, maybe they'll come out with it at the end of 2025 and kind of talk about maybe a few new objectives and then release
Maybe.
the actual pack to pick up. Kind of like the command or like the command upgrade box
Mm,
and
yeah.
the the unit pack. So maybe like you can
Hmm.
pick them up, but maybe they've already announced what those are going to be, at least in the print and
Okay.
play. Hopefully,
Hopefully that's the case, or hopefully they run late and they release just after Worlds.
right?
And or it gets pushed back to quarter 2 because that I can only imagine the chaos.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of reminds me of a Crucible. We only had what 8 weeks to practice with the brand new Legion 2.6 to get everything
Hmm.
settled. So I doubt that they would do that for Worlds, but I bet you it's going to be something similar where they're going to at least announce a whole bunch of stuff and then release and
Hmm.
quarter 1. But I'm down for
Fingers
it.
crossed. Yes.
Yeah, because I want some good long range stuff where you don't have to necessarily move as much, and maybe it's also like secondary. Because I don't know who mentioned it on the Discord about hostage exchange kind of being a secondary, and recover the
Mhm.
supplies kind of being a secondary.
And payload they want to redo as
Oh,
well.
payload. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, yeah. Lots of shiny new things in the future. That is honestly, it's just nice to finally have this done and to have
yes.
all this just out in the open. And it's no longer like, hey guys, what's going on?
Hmm. Yeah, I think after
So
after the 15th, I think it
mhm,
will be in the best spot that we have been
yes,
in for a while.
yes,
Because all the units will finally
uh,
be updated. We won't be missing anything except for new stuff, which is how it used to be probably like 2 years ago.
yeah,
Um, so I think they're doing a great job. There's a lot of stuff that we
yeah,
haven't seen that they've got kind of planned in the background that they don't want to reveal yet. So,
mhm,
and we've at least been told that, and I'm okay with being told that and not shown that yet because at least there's hope. Um,
They gotta
And
save something for mini extravaganza.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I'm super excited. I am going to be broke from
Mhm,
buying everything because it's almost kind of like you're restarting your collection all over again, even though you already have a collection,
mhm,
because you kind of want to get all the new cards. You kind of gonna have to get all the new like stuff, except for like dice and movement stuff, because it's all the exact
yes.
same. Um, but yeah, I feel like you know I'm
And
starting all over again.
this coming from an X-Wing background, the updated card packs and whatnot, I seem from how they describe them and how they look, I'm much more of a fan of these than the X-Wing ones because I think if I remember right, those were I want to say like $30 to $40 maybe, and you did not get everything in them for one faction, or you. It's kind of like the same as these where you only got some of them, but it was like two or three, and you could have had like six or more potentially of like a TIE fighter. So
Mm,
you'd have to get three of them in order to do that. Whereas these are like 15 to 25, and some of them you only need one of, some of them you might need two of. Yeah, this is just better unless you want to get it all for each faction. Then I'm
right.
sorry.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I will be getting them all, unfortunately.
I'm kind of glad I've downsized to just Empire and Republic and Shadow
Mhm.
Collective. But I kind of want a whole nother Shadow Collective box and then the Weequay Pirates because I feel like that's a fun battle
Mhm.
force to have, especially
Oh
with the
yeah.
new tank and the Weequay Pirates. Yeah. Plus, I've been winning a lot more with Shadow Collective than I have with Empire or Republic recently. So those free tokens really help a lot.
Yeah. Free is good.
Yes. But yeah, guys, that is really it. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the new Star Wars stuff coming out and about Adepticon. Just kind of trying to recap everything that has come out over the past week. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed everything. We'll have an interview with Isaiah coming up. So hopefully you guys tune in for that. And yeah, keep commenting, keep subscribing for the giveaway stuff, and keep watching for all the new updates. But that is it. Anything else? Any last requests
No,
or
it's a bright future ahead. It seems we're
yeah,
finally out of the storm, so I'm happy.
yes, yeah. The Gray Havens are finally making an appearance here.
Yes.
Um, but all right, guys,
Oh, yeah.
y'all take it easy, and thanks for watching. And hopefully you enjoy everything coming out.
Yeah. See you later.
All right, see you guys.